And I'm just gonna stop messing with my camera and go for it. Okay, so welcome to VEDA Day 2. This is going to be a slightly long video. I figured I'd get the video about feelings out of the way sooner rather than later. This is also going to be a multi-part video because I got about 2 years in and there was a lot to talk about. So I wanted to do a vlog where I went through old videos of Brooklyn, where I'm from, and talked about them, and like the context of the videos and blah blah blah. Only I realized that I don't actually have that much footage or photos or videos of Brooklyn. I have stuff that's in Brooklyn, but not like just random B-roll of the city. And honestly, that makes me kind of sad because I thought I did. So I spent an hour instead going through my phone and anything that's been backed up to Google Photos, anything that was geotagged as Brooklyn, to make this video. And I have a lot of photos and videos. The timeline is kind of wonky because I'm basing it off of the day it was tagged on Google Photos, which should be right, but it could also be wrong, because I don't actually know how accurate the auto tagging system that they use for Google Photos is. Anyway, oddly enough, this goes from July 2013 to November 2015, before just skipping like straight to October 2017, which implies I didn't take any photos for almost a year, but I know that's not true, specifically photos tagged in Brooklyn. The truth is I probably turned off geotags by accident, and those photos are hidden somewhere, they're just not tagged properly. But either way, let's get started on what is going to basically be what basically amounts to a slideshow. The earliest photo that I have that is tagged Brooklyn, that is not a Frisky, rest in peace Frisky. You'll see pictures of Frisky here. He was my cat. This is a picture of my childhood bedroom from July 18th, 2013. This is probably about when I moved home post-college. As you can see, my room was a goddamn mess. Honestly, this was the general state of being after I moved home because I was trying to fit my college dorm, my one-bedroom apartment that I got after college, and my childhood room, which I hadn't changed, into a single space. It was not a roaring success. The next halfway interesting photo that I found that I had is this wide-angle shot of the waterfront from Red Hook, Brooklyn. Based on basically other photos that I have that I'm just not sharing. One of my best friends from college, Emily, came to visit, and my parents, Emily and I, went to Brooklyn Crab for lunch or dinner while she was here. If I remember correctly, she was here for a job interview that she got, but then decided that she didn't want to move to New York for, and I was sad about, and I'm still sad about. But if she had moved to New York, everything would be wildly different because I probably wouldn't have left New York. Then here are some pretty sunflowers that are growing somewhere in Brooklyn. Probably something I passed walking around my neighborhood, but I don't actually recognize the block offhand. Like, I just don't recognize the street that this was taken on. And then, so the next photo, this photo, is a photo of my desk back when it just started out. It's an IKEA tabletop and some Alex drawers, and this cubby thing that I can't pronounce, which is actually, funny enough, you can't see exactly in this video because it's like slightly off. But the cubby things I still have, the Alex drawers I still have for that matter. But the cubby thing is no longer part of my desk. I now just use it as like a table. I replaced the Alex drawers with, or rather, I replaced the cubby with legs and a bookcase type thing. There'll be a whole video some other point in time about my desk. Because I love my desk and I spend a lot of time at my desk, and I figure I should show it off. But I have to clean it first. I have to like deep clean my desk before I show it off. Anyway, so the reason that this exists in this video is because one day, like I said, I'm going to do a desk tour video. So you can see my desk from when it started here. I'm doing here because you can't see me because it's a photo in front of me, but here because there's a photo here. Anyway, how my desk looked back in 2013 to what it looks like now in 2020. So then skip forward, and this is really funny. So this is a photo of 21 Pilots, the band, with what I now know to be Panic at the Disco and Fall Out Boy on the Save Rock and Roll tour. Which was the big concert tour, stadium-ish tour that Fall Out Boy went on after they came back from their very long, very extended hiatus. Which I think might have honestly been the first time I've seen Fall Out Boy live. I think. Because I didn't see them before the hiatus. It had never come up. And it's also the first time I'd ever seen 21 Pilots, and also the only time I've ever seen 21 Pilots, because literally they blew up, like, after this, and all their tickets were either sold out or stupidly expensive, and I was just like, fuck that. So, anyway, long story, bringing it back to the photo in question, this was possibly the first concert of 2013 that I went to. It took place at Barclays Center, which is why it's tagged Brooklyn. And yeah, anyway, but based on this photo, it's from 2013, obviously. And originally I assumed that this was an opening for Panic at the Disco. Like, I assumed that this was a Panic at the Disco show because I forgot having seen Fall Out Boy. Like, I didn't forget, but I just assumed that these were two different shows because I don't remember knowing that Panic at the Disco opened for Fall Out Boy. Like, I just forgot. I don't know who I went to this show with because I checked with the roommates, not my current roommates and not my roommates at the time, because at the time in 2013 I was living with my parents, but with Girl Phenom, who I lived with after this, but not in 2015. I lived with her in 2015. But we didn't know each other in 2013, so I have no idea who I went to this show with. Like, I have no idea. Like, I don't think this was a point in time in which I was going to shows on my own quite yet. But I guess I must have, because I can't figure out who I went to this show with. But I do go to shows on my own, but this seems like the sort of thing I would have gone to with Girl Phenom, but we didn't know each other at the time, so mystery. Other cool photos from this exact same day is this cool quote on this van that was parked around the corner from my house that I saw before I went to the show. Anyway, moving on past these concerts, I'll do a whole video about concert photos. Here's a pretty sunset photo, and then here are some tickets to see Panic at the Disco at Roseland Ballroom, which is now defunct, which I thought I went to with Girl Phenom, but there are no photos from this Roseland show, by the way, in this video, because that was in Manhattan, therefore not geotagged Brooklyn. Up next is me as a very casual closet cosplay as Wizard Mickey, who is my favorite incarnation of Mickey. And that basically ends 2013, because that's October, that's Halloween. I'm sure I have other pictures and other photos, but they aren't in this video because they aren't very interesting. Specifically photos tagged Brooklyn. Again, these are only photos that are tagged Brooklyn. One day I'll go through all of my photos and do like a whole about just a year in a life type video based on what I thought to document at the time. Actually, yeah. Now we're on to my favorite photo of my least favorite thing, which is snow. Specifically snow in Fulton Street Park. I hate snow. Snow is why I live in LA and not New York. Snow is the fucking worst. Beautiful to look at, but horrible to live with. And anyone who tells you differently is lying to you. There's a whole other rant for another day. So again, moving forward into 2014, there are very few photos tagged Brooklyn in 2014. I honestly don't know what happened. I still lived with my parents at the time, but like, I guess I didn't take that many photos of home. This year, I know I saw Anne Boleyn in what was at the time their final tour. I was an extra in Fangirl, which is a movie that has the chick from Mad Men in it, the kid. It's not a good movie, but I was an extra in the movie because there's a scene with All Time Low, and they put out a call to their fan club saying who wanted to be in this movie. And I was just like, I'm not doing anything. I think I was working retail at this point still, so I wasn't doing anything. But at some point or another during this year, I quit working retail, got my first industry job, One of my other friends from college came to visit. We went to a museum. I'm like 90% sure we went to the Met, and I'm 100% sure I haven't been to the Met since then. I also went to New York Comic Con this year, which I stopped doing before I moved to LA because honestly it was not fun and way too packed. But I have photos from New York Comic Con. Anyway, 2014 was a weird year to document because I have photos, but they're tagged wrong. We went from snowing in February to my childhood bedroom in October with basically nothing in between. But here are some really cool photos that I took with my Lumography Lumo Instant at some point this year. And I put them up on my wall. So basically at some point during the year I got a Lumo Instant from a Kickstarter that I backed. And I took a bunch of pictures and I put them on my wall. Minor updated photo of my bedroom. It's still a hot mess. Still living at home. Still trying to fit 3 rooms in 1 living space. Still failing at that. Ending the year off with a video of a photo from Kwanzaa, which is a thing my family did basically my whole life. They only recently stopped doing it because my dad more than my mom, but they just got tired of doing it. It's just one of those painful things about growing up and changing. Anyway, let me stop before I get too caught up in my sad personal feelings. Long story short, I miss New York and Brooklyn and my friends and my family, and this whole being stuck in California, even though I love it, sucks ass. So I guess I'm saying hug your family if you can. Yeah, until tomorrow. Later.